When you think of North America's great prehistoric predators, Tyrannosaurus rex is the name that dominates the conversation. But long before the T-Rex ever stepped foot on the continent, another predator ruled the land. One that left a distinct mark not only on the fossil record, but in the evolutionary history of large theropods. Acrocanthosaurus atokensis, whose name literally means high-spined lizard from Atoka, is one of the most iconic predators of the early Cretaceous. A top-tier carnivore, it stalked its prey in what is now the southern United States over 110 million years ago. But before we dive deep into its hunting strategies or evolutionary context, let's address one of the most visually striking and frequently debated aspects of this dinosaur, the spine. The most immediately noticeable feature of the Acrocanthosaurus was its tall neural spines, which extended upwards from its vertebrae along the neck, back, and tail. These spines were not as extreme as those seen on a Spinosaurus, but they did create the noticeable ridge or sail-like appearance along its back. This feature has led to a range of reconstructions, some more exaggerated than others, but fossil evidence clearly shows that these elongated spines were a real and consistent part of its anatomy. In life, Acrocanthosaurus would have stretched up to about 38 feet in length and weighed over 6 tons. For some perspective, that's roughly the size of a modern-day box truck or a large African elephant. Its skull was long and narrow, lined with sharp serrated teeth built for slicing flesh. The forearms were relatively short but strong, equipped with large claws that may have played a crucial role in holding its prey. The Acrocanthosaurus was described in 1950 by paleontologists Stovall and Langston from fossils discovered in the Antlers Formation in Oklahoma. Over time, additional specimens were uncovered from Texas, and more recently, possible material has been linked to Maryland and other parts of eastern North America. Although early researchers thought it might be related to Allosaurus or even Tyrannosaurids, it's now firmly classified within the Carnivore. This is a large group of large-bodied carnivores that also includes the Giganotosaurus and the Carnivore. This places the Acrocanthosaurus among the apex predators of its time and one of the earliest representatives of its family in North America. The tall neural spines likely served multiple functions. Some paleontologists suggest they supported a muscular ridge, providing strength and stability for the back, especially useful for an animal such of this size. Others propose that these spines might have played a role in thermoregulation, species recognition, or sexual display. But something that's especially compelling is the distribution of these spines. They start modestly at the neck, peak around the hips, and taper off down the tail, forming a continuous, flowing ridge that gave the Acrocanthosaurus a unique silhouette among large theropods. The skull of this great predator featured a deep, narrow snout and large fenestrae. These are openings that reduced the skull weight and likely improved muscle attachment, and inside its jaws were dozens of serrated teeth, ideal for cutting through the flesh of large herbivores. As we mentioned earlier in the video, its forelimbs were relatively small compared to its body, but they were not vestigial. Acrocanthosaurus had strong arms, with powerful claws, particularly useful for grappling or slashing at prey during close quarters attacks. But what you might be wondering is, what would such a colossal predator hunt? Acrocanthosaurus's robust skull, lined with large serrated teeth, points clearly to a diet of large herbivores. This apex predator roamed a diverse ecosystem, filled with sauropods like the Sauroposeidon, one of the tallest dinosaurs ever discovered, as well as the armoured Ankylosaurus and swift ornithopods. There's also strong evidence suggesting that the Tyrannosaurus may have been part of its primary prey items, a mid-sized herbivore that lived in the same region and time period. Bite marks found on the Tyrannosaurus fossils matching the size and tooth spacing of the Acrocanthosaurus support the idea of a predator-prey relationship. While there's still debate on whether these marks were made during active predation or scavenging, it's clear that the Acrocanthosaurus interacted closely with these herbivores. This predator was likely an ambush hunter. Its powerful hind limbs could have delivered sudden bursts of speed, while a long tail provided balance during rapid movement. It probably relied on a combination of stealth, strength, and speed to overpower prey, launching itself at targets with jaws and claws poised for a takedown. The size and strength of the Acrocanthosaurus suggests it was capable of hunting large prey as well, either alone or possibly in loosely coordinated groups. However, there is no direct fossil evidence supporting pack behavior of this creature. Studies of its neck and spinal structure suggest that the Acrocanthosaurus held its head in a downward-facing position though. This would have been ideal for scanning the ground for movement and striking quickly at prey. This creature's highly developed olfactory bulbs also point at potential scavenging behavior. With a keen sense of smell, Acrocanthosaurus could detect carcasses or injured animals from considerable distances. If you were looking for a modern comparison, Acrocanthosaurus wasn't like a cheetah or a wolf in terms of hunting. Instead, it was more like a crocodile or Komodo dragon, a solitary predator relying on patience, positioning, and a devastating strike to secure its meal. Its teeth functioned similarly to the serrated edges of a bread knife, optimized for cutting through flesh with maximum efficiency. Unlike animals that crush bone, Acrocanthosaurus focused on slicing and tearing. Acrocanthosaurus occupied the apex predator niche in its ecosystem. In the early Cretaceous of North America, few creatures could rival its size and power. However, it was not alone. Other theropods like the Deinonychus and smaller dromaeosaurs also lived in this region. Though they likely hunted smaller prey or scavenged remains, Acrocanthosaurus would have dominated the food chain, possibly even preying on juvenile versions of other large dinosaurs. Its presence in multiple formations across a wide geographical range indicates it was both successful and adaptable. From the swampy lowlands of Texas to the woodlands of Oklahoma and even the East Coast, Acrocanthosaurus appears to have thrived in a range of environments. The discovery of possible juvenile specimens suggests that the Acrocanthosaurus also grew rapidly, potentially reaching its massive adult size in a relatively short time, a strategy seen in other large theropods as well. By the end of the early Cretaceous, Acrocanthosaurus disappears from the fossil record. It was eventually replaced by other large carnivores, including the rise of the Tyrannosaurids later in the Cretaceous. Climate shifts, changes in sea levels, and the evolution of new herbivore species may have played a role in this transition. Ecosystems transformed, and with them the apex predator at the top of the food chain. But for millions of years, Acrocanthosaurus reigned supreme, a symbol of dominance in the early North American Cretaceous. Acrocanthosaurus atokensis may not have the name recognition of the T-Rex, but its legacy is no less important. As one of the earliest large Carnivore it helps us understand the evolution of giant predators in the ecosystem they shaped. Its tall spine, massive frame, and wide geographic range made it one of the most fascinating dinosaurs of the early Cretaceous, a reminder that prehistoric North America was once home to powerful predators that rivaled even the most famous giants later in the Mesozoic. And as we continue to unearth these fossils and examine new evidence, Acrocanthosaurus continues to roar from the depths of prehistory, challenging us to learn more about its story and the ancient world it once ruled. My name's Joe, and thank you so much for watching our video on the Acrocanthosaurus. On screen right now are more videos we think you'll enjoy, and subscribe to the channel to stay updated on our next video we're going to be uploading very soon.